Hey yo, this is another video. Okay, so this one is going to be about Lilu, Lilith, um, Eve. So these are all the same characters or deity, just in different forms. Okay, let's just go ahead and start with Eve. Okay, since everybody knows of Eve, right? So Eve is like the physical manifestation, as in the body of a physical person, which they give to you in the story of the Bible, different types of Bibles out there. So if there's different types of Bibles with that same character, so we're gonna go with the character that everybody knows is Eve. But I do, study and research. Eve is a manifestation of, well, she was Adam's wife, um, but she wasn't Adam's first wife. Ah, so if she wasn't Adam's first wife, then she's a physical manifestation or a trickle down effect, the lower version of Adam's wife. So now that you know that before Eve, Adam had a wife, which was Lilith, which would be the dark, as looked at as the dark goddess, um, or and the snake. So they like to uh, separate or differentiate the three, which are all the same. So Eve is the serpent, and Eve is Lilith, which is all three in the same. Because if you're the darkness or nothing, you can be everything. So Lilith is the darkness. So like you see, this is how I usually explain it to. If there's the sun comes around, right around, revolves around the planet, but one place is going to be bright because the sun is there, and somewhere else where the sun isn't there is dark. So wherever the sun is revolving, opposite of that actual place or that actual spot, um, where the sun is going to be darkness. So that means darkness has always been here. That means the sun came later, was birthed later. So now I'm going to be able to show you and back up everything I'm saying too also. So the book that I'm going to be getting into to explain, not just explain, but just to give example, so you understand where I'm coming from with this. So there's no confusion with the three, because they're all the same. So as in the serpent, the serpent itself, as in like Tiamat, which is the dragon and the serpent is the same, just that the dragon has wings. But doesn't a dragon, um, don't you see on the hospital? It's another example. Hospital, they have a caduceus on the hospital, as in the point of, you see the two serpents going up, and then you see wings at the top, and then you see when you see the wings, that means the dragon, or the serpent has its wings. Or so, another way of looking at it, they try to is Heru's, or Heru as the falcon. The falcon has its wings, but an older version or picture would be this. Let me get you into some light. 418 just passed. The great work. Let me get you some light so you can see what I'm talking about. So this book, I'm gonna deal with this book too also, but I'm gonna show you a picture. Sekhem, Apep, Typhonian, Vampire Magic. And this would be, as you see the snake, as you see, but it'll be the snake going up in the wings at the top. So your wings would be what? The light at the top. But you have a snake inside your body. And the snake inside the body goes up the tree. Just like the tree, they say the tree of knowledge. don't eat from the tree or the apple. The apple is what? Doth. Doth, once you eat from an apple, when you take a bite and you wait a couple of seconds, it turns what? Brown on the inside. Like, oh, I don't eat that no more. It's not, it's still appetizing or it's still good for you. Just that once the shell or the outside of the apple has been taken apart, you'll see melanin or discoloration from what you've seen from the first bite. So that being is air hits it. So melanin itself is doth. Doth is in the back of your neck. That's the highest form of melanin, where you like your ideas from your lower self, you bring it all the way up into manifestation. Your doth or your ideas into your mind. And that's and a little higher. That's will be where the wings would be at. So that's why God and that's why God doesn't want you to eat from the tree or the tree of life. So if you can't eat from the tree of life, that means, or tree of knowledge, you can't get information. So you always be subservient, following and giving energy to something that's always gonna make it easy for you. And you know what I'm saying? You have everything in this garden. So when they decided to eat from the apple, they decided to eat from the apple, what happened? They got kicked out. So everything is not easy when you eat from the apple and you want information and knowledge. So let's get into it. 6 minutes and 42 seconds in. Let's get into it. So I got some books and something visually for you to see too also. Okay, right here. I'm gonna read this together. Life which you so nobly serve comes from destruction and chaos. Chaos is what? The darkness, the dark side of the tree. There's two sides. I don't know. I'm not very the most knowing in the Kabbalah or the Tree of Life, but I know some things about it. And in what you know, more things will come if you putting the effort into it or the energy into it. So chaos and destruction is one and the same, because this is what? The illusion. So the brain itself is the illusion, which is what? Something that a brain which God put on you, which is part of the illusion. Like everything when you walk around or you're inside of like a video game, or we'll just say either Shenmue, if you ever had Dreamcast Shenmue is like a character. You have to go through all these different occurrences or instances, and you ended up getting to towards the end. Certain things you go through, you have to go through in order to get to your final destination. Or you can say Grand Theft Auto, or it's a lot of different role playing games you can find out there. That's almost like it's your life. Your life is you playing a role. Um, so chaos and destruction. I don't want to get too far apart, so I want to do this in good time so you can understand where I'm coming from and not get bored with it. So that's where we come from, the darkness. That's what darkness is. But the light, remember, the sun came later. Remember, when there's always darkness, the sun revolves. If it's revolving, that means the sun had to come from darkness. So the sun is nothing but is a star. Sun in Spanish is SOL, soul, soul with soul brother, soul sister. Same thing. So you have the sun inside of you, and that reflects outside. So the sun itself comes from the star Sirius, and the star Sirius is from the planet Saturn, just in another form. So when you see that sun revolving, that means it's a manifestation or from the star Sirius. The star Sirius reflects the sunlight in the daytime. So the daytime, the sun lights up the illusion, but in the darkness, usually everybody's usually asleep, and a lot of so-called crime happens around that time when a lot of people are asleep too, and some people are just out doing what they do, continuing the the manifestation of darkness. Okay, so 1010 just passed, which is a powerful number in the Necronomicon. You can always watch the movie Alien versus Predators. 1010 is when what everything started to happen. When those pyramids were heating up, the heat was coming from what the inside of that pyramid, inside the ground. Okay, all right, stick with me. I'm gonna get into some literature, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, we're gonna go into the Ninth Arch by Kenneth Grant. The oracle number is 76 and the verse number is 19. Caddeth in the cold waste, a Lovecraftian phrase, suggests haddeth set, as the lower self is in set, and the ice cold sperm of the devil. Okay, if you're going to Liber 777, this book right here, 777 and other Kabbalistic writings of Aleister Crowley, which is the author, you'll find out that 19, 11 just passed. 11 is the number of magic, and 11 is also balanced, as in Ma'at. Okay, and that is another form of Lilith. 2 also are Lilu. So 19 is defined as the feminine glyph, the reason being that 19 is the number of Chava, as Hebrew, Chava or Eve, which means to manifest, to menstruate, to show forth. The oracle indicates Chebivin, a hiding place or secret, secretion. Okay, or like menstruate, secretion. Remember, the woman secretes fluids. Both of which words apply also to Lilu, 76, a form of Lilith, Adam's first wife, as Eve was his second. And Lilith is the darkness. That means the nothingness. So she can become, or Lilith can become any and everything. So that's why she was Lilith, the snake, and also Eve, in order to have Adam go through the information to get the knowledge from the tree of knowledge. So Eve was his second wife. Lilu presided over the succubi, or succubus, or to take energy. We have here an echo of the turrets of silence in Elekvad, the town of turrets, where the bearded and finny entities build their singular labyrinths, which is what? Their mind. The labyrinth is looked at as a brain in Nordic mythology. Okay, as you see, Lilu, Minai, Lekara Riba, La Minia, Tichai, Ekbat de Sebat. Okay. Lilu, as you can see, Lilu. They put the name Lilu inside this piece of entertainment so you wouldn't know, but they spell it differently, Leeloo, but it's supposed to be, or spelled Lilu. Entertainment is looked at as as misdirection. So Oracle 138:23. Or by the glittering yellow river haunted by the sighs of Shoa, the evil woman. So, let's get into another the same Lilu. Hoa, 76 equals with Lilu, the Assyrian form of Lilith, queen of the succubi, as 79 Shoa. 79 Shoa equates with Tanit. Now, I got to stop this real quick. 1979, that's also the year Aliyah Akasha Horton, she came to this third dimensional or this planet. So Aliyah, the singer Aliyah, 1979. But let's keep going. Shoa equates with Tanit, a great goddess associated with Baal, Bela in Carthage. The Oracle 138 is Bab al Mandeb, the gates of hell associated with Yemen, which, as has been suggested by some as the seat of all mystery. This may or not be so. Bab el Mandeb lies on the Red Sea or Yellow River. Shoa, the evil woman, is Beb el Mindeb. So they say menstruate or menstruation, Red Sea, blood. All right, so now we're still in the same book, the Ninth Arch, 305:16. Yes, the shadow falls. Shoa, the evil woman, Lilu, to Hecht, and the she-goat Oz, and that great spirit that cannot be invoked because. Okay, yes, the shadow falls. The shadow woman appears to be the another woman of the previous verse. We'll get into that previous verse very soon. She is the evil Lilu or Lilith. So they say to go to the dark side. Luke, I am your father. Doth is the highest form of melanin, why he's in all black. But remember his troops, they all in white because remember, light can only come from darkness. So that's why all his troops are all wearing white, because light can only come from darkness, that which is the darkness. Okay. Lilu or Lilith, succuba supreme, as in vampire or can take energy. Shoa, the ghoul, Hecht or Hecate. Hecate you can find in Greek mythology as in a magician or a witch. The frog-headed deity, the witch. The transformer, the she-goat Oz, Shoa, equals 371. She is celebrated in the sinister song of Sin Sin Wa. Okay? 371 equals Shamal Sinistrum, the left. Sin Sin Wa was a type of the blind Horus, i.e. Set. Remember, Horus had to go against Set, and once he went against him, he gained the power. It's not like he just killed him, but he gained some power too also. For his left eye was permanently closed as long as his familiar, that great spirit, the raven. So the spirit of Lilith or Akasha spirit. All right. 444 is the oracle in verse 11. Remember 11:11. Again, 11 means magic. So Shoa, the ghoul, the evil woman, whose treachery was expressed in the song of the one-eyed Chinaman. She who, remember how I say mythology, it correlates to different areas. That's why this is the truth. Highly melanated people or so-called black people, we were everywhere or one place until everything broke apart. Okay, so that's why you have all these different continents. Was associated with the Yellow River. This is in Asia and the Valley of Honan. It is probable that the name Shoa has its analog with that of Hoa or Heya, equated with Neptune and applied to an antique deity presiding over the abyss. The abyss is like in Nordic mythology, as in waters, or in Sumerian or Akkadian mythology, or Assyrian, it would be the sky. So The antique is, antique means older. The older deity presiding over the abyss as a figure of the princess. Wait, a figure of the deep ones. Hoa equals 76 equals Lilu, the Assyrian form of Lilith, the princess who presided over the succubi, which reveals her nature as identical with that of Shoa, and after Lola, Mrs. Sinsinwa, the verse number is that of magic and of the Kalipoth, of the Hindikad, the accursed shells that exist only without the tree of life. So it's 11 on the front side, the light side, and 11 on the back. The same body, tree of life, it'll be 22 together if you using the light and the dark together. So without the tree of life, i.e., they are vehicles of the outer ones. 11 is the mystic number of the great work, and of all their numbers who are of us. You can find that in the book of the law as spoken by Nuit or Typhon. The oracle enumerates Mani Zorin, the stone to be sacrificed. Sinsinwa was a very wise Chinaman. His wisdom is encoded in the lullaby which he crooned at last. 19. You can find this in Romer's it's a book he came out with called Dope, A Tale of Chinatown. Okay, and in the maxim, failure is nothing but the taking of 7 risks when 6 were enough. All right, 20. The note for this, the illusion is to an alchemical formula too complex for inclusion here. So you can so as you see, Set and you can say Set and Lilith, or you can say Shoa and Sinsinwa. So it just depends on what part of mythology you're into. Just putting them all together so you can make the pieces fit like a puzzle. Okay, Oracle 304, verse 15. Another woman shall awake and slake the hunger of the snake. Another woman shall not only awake the fire snake. Number 19, go to the book of the law, Liber Al, chapter 3, verse 34. Okay, and get you to focus. Okay. She shall also slake its hunger for the infinite. So darkness is infinite. 15 is the sum of the numbers 1 to 5. 5 is the number of Nuit's star and of the great old ones whose Cyclopean temple, Cyclopean is what? One eye. People say it's the third eye, but it's the first eye because you were yourself before you came into these bodies. Whose Cyclopean temple architecture is based upon the Kabbalah of 5. Number 20, see Wood, Genesis. It's a book by Wood named Genesis. See also Lovecraft at the Mountain of Madness. Okay, Lovecraft is an author too also, and it deals with the Necronomicon, which is dealing with Sumerian mythology. That's a copy. The 5 trichonas of Kalika, the tantric form. Tantra is sex, sexual magic. Tantric form of the goddess 15 also derive from this canon. David Wood, Genesis, page 37, notes that the reciprocal number of 15 is 666. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons is what? Carbon. Didn't he say my name is Carbon Dallas? Okay. And I'm going to show you something. They're both, she has orange hair. He has on an orange shirt. The Clockwork Orange. But I'm going to show you that right now, actually. Okay. Remember I said at the beginning of the video, we come from chaos and destruction. So a Clockwork Orange is like an explosion. So watch this. By Stanley Kubrick. He did 2001 Space Odyssey. He has a collection of good films. But if you ever get to check out this movie, very underrated, very under the radar too also. This is a description of the movie: stomping, whomping, stealing, singing, tap dancing, violating. Derby topped Teddy Boy Hooligan Alex Malcolm McDowell has his own way of having a good time. He has it at the tragic expense of others. Expense, tragedy, chaos, orange. So as we said, 666 is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, which is what? Carbon, which is melanin. The oracle, see comment to the next verse, has a curious correspondence with Katiz Lapvini, which Jesenias, which is genius. Translation as the shadow looking at me. 21st note. See Inman, ancient faiths embodied in ancient names. Page 561. First interprets it as protection of the presence. Okay, protection of the presence. The sign of protection is Nuit's star, the 5-star, traced in a manner that was not disclosed to the scribe, but which Frater Eosic later discovered. So the sign of protection, protection of the presence. Listen to what, or read what she says very closely. I hate sayings, but when people say, remember the saying, sleep is the cousin of death. She told him to go to sleep. So when you sleep, you're in what? The astral realm, and you are actually pulling in information. And that's where everything is your story, or the story keeps going, for you have to accomplish what you need to accomplish. So that's why she was like, they had to push, she told him to go to sleep. When you go to sleep, these are dreams you fulfill. That's your real field of where you really live at. And when you here on this third dimensional plane, or in this world, or this earth, you're actually only here to get information. That's why I'm here, speeding the process of giving showing the information like as it comes to me. As I can get it, I make notes of it if I can, and then put it into a format, into a compact format, so you don't have to do all the footwork like as I am doing. But you really should actually do the footwork, because when you're doing that, you're actually helping yourself out, and you actually going behind me and doing the actual work, and say, hey, he's not making none of this shit up. It's actually right here in black and white and writing too also. So that's why they use entertainment as in a way of, oh, that's the light side. This is light. This is not nothing we should really be concerned with. It's just something we can watch for 2 hours to escape and then go back to what we're doing. But no, these are actually ways that you can actually progress instead of degressing. So, as you see, she's the protection. She's protection too, also, as in the spirit or Akasha spirit. She's always been around to protect you too. Also, you might think it's just all you, but that's the spirit of Lilith, Akasha, Lilu. These are all different names of the same version, the dark goddess. So, with that being, with me saying that, I wanted to just go to show you. Oh, also I have one more thing too. All right, in the book Sekhem Apep, Typhonian Vampire Magic by Michael W. Ford. I call upon the powers of darkness. So, as you see, Dime, Lamastu, Lilitu, Ardat, Lili, and Lilu, Udug Hull, Lilu. Okay? Ancient, old, highly melanated people, so-called black people, ancient, we're everywhere. Ancient people, ancient deity, Lilu. So as we see, summoning the Lilu spirits. Spirits as in what? The darkness. Everything comes from darkness. You can only get light from darkness. Peace. Naga. 3131 just passed, which is my eye as in balance and in truth.